your source for all things Real Madrid news, and I am your host, Eric Rivera. And well, today is the close of the transfer window. Tonight at midnight, the transfer window slams shut, and we will know for sure if Mbappe is coming or not. At this point, my guess is as good as yours. Our information is as good as yours. I don't know what JOTA Real Madrid has up his sleeve, if he knows anything at all that you guys don't know. But we'll be informing you guys as the day goes by, I'm sure. So stay tuned for any of that. But for the news I have right now, well, Ciro Lopez, who is a very well respected journalist, sports journalist in Spain, in a report by Defensa Central, by Manuel Calero of Defensa Central, he's reporting that Ciro is essentially gambling his credibility by saying that Mbappe, he said yesterday, on many different platforms yesterday, he was trending live, essentially. He was a trending topic in Spain, but it was because he had appeared on many different Twitch channels and many different Twitch streaming lives, essentially, with Ibayanos and also with Ruben Martinez, and had other people such as DJ Mario and Fabrizio Romano. He had a lot of people on. He was on a lot of different Twitch where he was sharing essentially the screen with a lot of these guys and talking about the possibility of bringing Mbappe. And he said, essentially, his tweet that became viral and essentially kind of put him out there as putting his credibility on the line is that he still believes with a 95% certainty that the possibility of Mbappe coming to Real Madrid. That is what he said. He goes, the tweet that became viral essentially by Ciro Lopez was that he says, even though many people have already gotten off the ship, essentially not believing that Mbappe is going to come, among those are Ibayanos and DJ Mario, gamer, Twitch, also Twitch celebrity DJ Mario from Spain. I still believe with a 95% certainty that Mbappe will be a Madrid player this season. So Ciro Lopez, as reported by Defensa Central, is essentially kind of putting his credibility on the line there, guys, because he is 100% or 95% certain that Mbappe is going to be coming. So that is, we'll have to see if that plays out for him. In more news from Defensa Central, Manuel Calero again is basically saying that the thing that's helping PSG keep this ninja death grip on Mbappe is essentially the fact that UEFA and their permissiveness when it comes to the fair play, financial fair play, which at this point seems like there is none for some of these state-run clubs like the likes of Manchester City, Chelsea, all of these big oil clubs, as we like to call them, essentially. And PSG, of course, is the fact that UEFA seems to look the other way when it comes to their signings, because they're saying that essentially financial fair play makes no sense. That PSG can essentially at this point retain players like Mbappe, even though it's renewed Neymar, has Sergio Ramos, brought on Leo Messi, brought in Achraf Hakimi, Donnarumma, and Wijnaldum. They reported, I believe, something like 170 million euros or 160 million euros. We had this in a past note, essentially, that they had reported something like 160 million euro profit, when that is not true, because essentially the only player they have actually sent out was Bakker to I believe it was Bayer Leverkusen for about 7 million euros. So where is the rest of that money? And at this point, it doesn't seem like there's any that there is any word from Ceferin or anybody from UEFA that is really putting this fair play, financial fair play into question. And because Florentino Perez and Real Madrid are not of the liking of UEFA and especially Seferin at this moment because of everything that had to be, everything surrounding the Super League and the Superliga. It seems very much so that the UEFA will look the other way when it comes to financial fair play, and Al Khelaifi and everyone that has to do with PSG. So that is what it seems like right now is helping PSG be able to hang on to Mbappe and not need to negotiate at all with Real Madrid at this point. There is still time in the transfer window as of this recording, so we don't know what could happen. By the time we release this, it could be that Mbappe is already one of our players, but at this point, they have not wanted to make a deal with Real Madrid, even though, the reports are that Florentino Perez has put 200 million euros on the table, which is well above what we started with at 160 and then went to 180 and now it's 200 million. So we'll have to see how this plays out during the rest of the day. In addition to that, a lot of people, a lot of Madridistas, or especially, I guess, were depressed or have been depressed because they felt like Mbappe's arrival was very close, and the feeling was that it was going to happen, and now all of a sudden it feels like that is getting further and further away. Of course, a lot of people, according to Rubén Gómez from Defensa Central, a lot of people are remembering, of course, if they can remember, and he's bringing this up, and a lot of people have brought it up, a lot of different reporters have brought it up, is that about a few years ago, of course, when Real Madrid in 2002 signed Ronaldo Nazario from Inter Milan, they were saying, remember that at the last minute, Florentino basically signed Ronaldo when everything seemed like it was not going to happen. Essentially on the 23rd of August, just a few days before the close of the transfer window, he said that the conversations with Inter had stalled, that it was going to be impossible to come to a satisfactory agreement, and that both teams had mutually agreed to stop the negotiation. That was what Real Madrid had essentially published officially on the 23rd of August at that time. And however, right before midnight, on the last day of the transfer window, we all know that Ronaldo became, not Cristiano Ronaldo, Ronaldo Nazario da Lima became a Real Madrid player. With Florentino basically being involved in the signing up until the last minute. So a lot of people are taking, I guess, solace in that, are feeling like it's still a possibility that Florentino's not going to go down without a fight. And hopefully he doesn't. I mean, if there's anything that Florentino can get done more and more now these days is seemingly that this man knows how to do business. He knows how to play ball. He is a tough SOB when it comes to that. And he could possibly get it done. But we'll have to wait and see, just like everything else, guys. I mean, I know it's been an up and down roller coaster of emotions, but that is the reality of where we're at right now in the transfer market and the way PSG is doing business, essentially, whether they're really having conversations or not, or simply just ignoring. Kind of what we've heard is they've simply just not responded to many different offers, nor have they said exactly how much Mbappe would be worth to them. So it's not even like we could go in with a certain amount and negotiate with there, because they've never even set a price for him. They just keep on saying, well, this is not enough, this is not. And then even though we throw in, essentially Florentino throws down 200 million euros, it seems like they're still not willing to do any sort of business. So we'll see what happens. Once again, like I said, it's all coming down to the wire. And one last note, and this comes from Diario AS, is that basically in the French concentration for the upcoming World Cup qualifiers, now that Mbappe has been called up, in addition to Karim Benzema, there is still sort of a tough environment in the there is still a rough environment in the locker room. Still, kind of unhappy after the exit from the Euro Cup. There were also discussions between family members in the stands, family members of the players, the French players in the stands, and a lot of other different things from the French media, kind of showing that the locker room at the French national team is not as cohesive or as friendly as one might think. It's been very difficult, and essentially it started with the controversy of bringing back Karim Benzema. Then there seemed to be a discussion an argument between Mbappe and Giroud. And it's kind of interesting that at this point Giroud was not called up for the World Cup qualifiers, and some people are saying that it seems like it's because Didier Deschamps does not want to have problems between Giroud and Mbappe, and obviously is picking Mbappe over Giroud. Could this be because of Kylian Mbappe's close relationship with Benzema? Benzema now is back in the roster while Giroud is not. So this, and of course another decision another thing that bothered some of the more veteran players from the national team of France, is that also there was a private reunion between Kylian Mbappe and Noël Le Graët, who is the president of the French Football Federation, basically asking, about the treatment he received, Mbappe, the treatment he received after he missed the final penalty against Switzerland. I guess basically saying, a lot of, the French Federation didn't come out in public to defend him or anything like that. I guess not happy with that. And so he was making these statements to or wanted this, private meeting with him and the French Federation president. So those things kind of don't sit well. Maybe they see it as Mbappe having an ego bigger, obviously bigger than his, or pretty much a lot bigger than his years allow or his experience allows. And, other issues, of course, like I said, with Giroud and things seemingly that Deschamps is doing things within the dressing room to make Mbappe happy. Having to bend over backwards and do certain things to make him happy, making it seem like he's kind of a diva at this point. But this is coming out of the Adios, so is this true? Is this the information? Is this information true that Kylian Mbappe is sort of causing a problem in the locker room for the French, for the French national team? It's all speculation at this point, but that essentially right now they're saying also one of the things that that L'Equipe has said is that this is something that Deschamps is probably very capable of managing. If there is any sort of discontent in the dressing room, he should be able to manage it as he's managed these players before and taken them as far as, of course, the Euro Cup final before that they lost to Portugal, but then also the World Cup final that they did win, and also coached them in this Euro Cup as well. So he's been able to handle them and get the best out of them before. So that is the news I have for now here at Real Madrid Hub. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification button, as both JOTA, Real Madrid, and myself will be providing you with news throughout the week. And of course, JOTA will be providing you with news throughout the day as we close this crazy transfer window. And we finally will know for sure today, and I will report tomorrow. And as will JOTA, we'll know essentially whether Mbappe is a player for Real Madrid tonight, or we will have to wait until January or whatever to get him. But that is the news I have for now, guys. Thank you for listening to Real Madrid Hub, your source for all Real Madrid news.